BMW makes this awesome modular traveling comfort system, but the accessories are extremely expensive and proprietary. My friend recently bought the system and he loaned it for me exactly for 1 week before he needs it back. In this video, I have 7 days to reverse engineer the base carrier, the hook and the camera mount. And in the end, I actually managed to make some significant upgrades over the originals. The base carrier is the heart of the system. I think in some of the newer, more premium models, such as the X's or the 5 Series or the I models, you can choose this option to be directly integrated into the seats. But as plebeians with a model number starting with an F, we have to manage with a detachable system. The base carrier works by being jammed into the posts of the headrest. And then in here you have a hole, and in here you can just hook up some attachments. I think I now have a pretty good idea on what I need to do, so let's hop on back inside so I can start designing. I spent quite some time designing the base carrier, as the tolerances on this one needs to be extra precise to avoid any kind of rattles and make sure that all the accessories stay in place. There's also some kind of a locking mechanism on the inside which keeps it secure. You cannot compress it without pressing the button on the back. And as I cannot dismantle this, I'm literally working with the black box. For some of the stuff, I feel like I could have been a bit more liberal, because now this is 3D printed, so I don't really have to take into account all of the designs that are needed for injection molding, but I wanted to be as close as possible to the original to maximize compatibility. In the base carrier, there's 3 main mechanical design elements that I need to incorporate in the design. The first one was that I needed for the moving part to stay in place, as in not to pop off when it's fully extended. For this one, I thought I'll just make a small hook that grabs on the moving part, so when you push it in for the first time, it will just snap and lock into place and it will not come off. And the second mechanism was the actual springing system, so the fact that it goes inside. And this is to actually make it fit between the posts of the headrest. For this one, I thought about trying a 3D printed spring. I've done some spring designs in the past, but they've usually just been for small buttons and stuff like that. They just need to move for a small distance. As with this one, it needed to be like 60 millimeters fully extended and still go down to 30 millimeters or even less. As I wanted the design to be mostly 3D printable, I really didn't want to go with a hardware spring. In the end, I spent like maybe 2 days trying to design the perfect spring. First, I was designing all the springs myself, and that was way too much work. Until I found this Parametric Spring designer on MakerWorld, it really sped up the whole design process, as I could just churn out these springs, design a new one in a matter of seconds and just print it out and see if it works, it didn't, and then go on to the next one. And the third mechanism was the button ratchet lock mechanism thingy, whatever you call it. And this button, it prevents the compression of the core unless you want to. I tried to wrap my head around this for such a long time until I came up with a solution. As I said, it's a black box for me. I cannot open it, I cannot see inside, I don't know how it works. And the most difficult part actually was to think about the inverse, because usually these kinds of ratchet systems work inverse. So you can actually push it in and then it stays locked until you press the button to release it again. But with this one, it's somehow the ratchet is inverse, as in it's locked by default and you have to push the button to push it in and then release it. And when you release the button, you don't hold it, it will ratchet open. But finally, in the end, I actually managed to figure out a way to design it and to make it even 3D printable. Now with the 3 main mechanics tackled, it was time to move on to the fun part, the actual design of it. I decided to make it in 3 pieces to make it as easy as possible for 3D printing. In the middle I have the core, and then on both ends I have empty shells. On the left side there's pretty much nothing happening. You just pop on the shell, you put on the screw, and that's it. There's nothing more to it. On the right side is the actual moving part of the design. Before we put on the right side shell, we have to pop in the button. This is a bit tricky to get in place, but I want it to be sturdy and snappy somehow, so it has a bit of resistance to it, but it's doable to put it in there. And just to make sure that it stays in there, there's a small M3 screw that you can use to lock the button in place. In here, we can just pop in the spring and then push the right side shell in to snap into place. Here you can see the hook, it snaps in place and then it won't come off. Then after this is done, here's the first improvement that I made in the system. It doesn't need to be BMW anymore. You can change these faceplates. First of all, you can put whatever brand you want, whatever designs you want, it doesn't matter. They're all interchangeable and you can change them to your heart's content. You want to match it with the color of your interior? Go ahead. You want to match it with the color of your car? Go right at it. Nobody's stopping you. Only the sky is the limit. Now that the core was done, it was time to move on to the attachments. First, we can tackle the easy one, the hook. In this design, there's pretty much not much to it. It's a hook. To maximize the strength and get some nice curves into it, I decided to split it in half. This also means that I can easily pop in the clip system, which houses the buttons and the hooks to keep the hook in place. And the clip also has 2 screw holes. You can use either M4 screws directly to dig into the plastic, or you can insert heat-set inserts for M3 screws, which I've done here. And these screws are the ones that will hold the whole package in place. There will be no glue, no nothing, it's just these small pegs and the screws in the middle that will hold it in place. Then to top it off and to hide the screws, I made this top cover from TPU. One might consider it an upgrade to the original, as now there is a soft and supple surface to protect the handle of your shopping bag. So, here's finally the finished hook. And here's the base carrier, and it just snaps into place. Like that. Now let's go in the car to see what it can hold. So now, we're back here in the back seat. I got the base carrier, and we can see how it attaches to the posts here. There we go. Seems sturdy enough. And we also have the hook. This is somehow the original BMW one. It says it can only hold 1.5 kilos. And in all honesty, I feel like this could hold way more than 1.5 kilos. I have a bunch of stuff here, camera gear, whatever. Maybe it's 1 kilo, 1.5 kilos. Yeah, I can actually hang it there without any kind of issues, and I feel like I could go driving with this easily. Maybe just by the feel of it. I don't want to test it because I don't want to break it. While editing, this part really started bugging me. I thought, why wouldn't I want to break it? It's no good if it's just all talk and no show. Most likely, it will just snap off. But even if it breaks, I can just print a new one. So now we're back in the back seat. I have the holder and I have the hook, and I brought some weights with me so we can start loading it up and see what happens. Let's see first. Goes in 2 kilos, 4 kilos, 5 kilos. I know, let's pop in more. 2 more. We're up to 7 kilos, 9 kilos. Now I hear a bit of snapping. It's tight. Oh, I think we're about to break. Let me switch to 10 kilos. I don't know. 2 more. 2 more. This is all the weight I have. I didn't think that it's gonna... It's still holding. There's like what? 5, then it's 14 kilos. I mean, it's snapping and cracking. It's, I think, like 1-2 more kilos and it would actually break. I really don't have anything anymore. I was expecting explosions. I'm sorry. This is all you get. Nothing. This is a bit bent here, but it's still there. It still snaps into place. No hooks were broken. Nah, I'm impressed if I say so myself. After the hook, we can jump into something a bit more substantial. The camera mount. This was a lot more complicated design, as I don't know if you can see the camera, but it has these like long sweeping curves, which are a nightmare for a 3D printer. It also has a curve like this. Yeah, in the end in here, it uses the same clipping system as the hook. It also has this swiveling system, so it can move from left side to right side. And at the end of it, you have the actual camera mount. I started by making the base pretty much exactly the same as the hook. It's in 2 halves, split in the middle for easier printing and nice curves. And then on the inside, it has the exact same clip as the hook, but it's attached now to this base plate. And on the base plate I also have another holder which holds the main screw for the swiveling arm. The base plate will attach with 4 screws just to make it as sturdy as possible because it's gonna have some weight to it. Now with the base done, we can just plonk on the main arm, and this attaches either with an M6 screw. I made it with an M6 screw, but you can also do it with an M8. It has a big enough hole for that. Then to hide the screw, we can just top it off with this cap, and then we can attach the extensions of the arm. These work exactly the same as the base or the hook. I made them from 2 pieces, split in the middle for easier printing. The arms get attached to each other first. And then we can just screw them to the main arm from underneath. And then it's pretty much done. The only thing left is the upgrade I promised. In the new design, I've actually made it now. It has a 1/4 inch screw here, so you can attach any kind of a camera or anything to it. And these base plates, they're interchangeable. You can make whatever designs you want. So now with the design of the camera mount done, we can go and test it out. So we're back on the back seat, and now it's time for the camera mount. This snaps in place exactly the same way as the hook does. As I have my old camera here, I just want to show you how it holds. I have no clue how much this weighs. I'll put the weight on the screen. But yeah, I wouldn't go driving around with this, but it still holds it. And it's not really meant for a full-size camera. It's more for GoPros or Insta360s. But as I said, I don't have an action camera, but my buddy has an Insta360, so we can actually go and test it out, see how the mount holds, and I'll show you some footage from that.
Many months later.
So, my friend has been gone, I have been gone, and we've been just crisscrossing, not being able to meet for a ride. In the meantime, I even visited back home in the old country, and I remember that I have my old action camera, the Garmin Verb Elite. This thing is ancient. I bought it used in 2017 to film me and my dad's trip to Mongolia. I think this was originally released in 2013, so around the same time as GoPro Hero 3 was a thing. This thing has been used many years before me, and I took it halfway around the world, and then it's been stored in mothballs for almost a decade. Surprisingly enough, it still worked, and I actually managed to get some decent HD footage out of it. I designed and 3D printed a mount for it that can pop onto the camera holder, and the camera just pops onto it like so. The thing is that my grandpa style driving is probably not the intended use case for this kind of a camera mount, but for what it's worth, here you go. So, we successfully cloned and even improved a premium car accessory in less than 7 days. All of the designs for these can be found on my MakerWorld. I try to make the profiles as user-friendly as possible. I've pre-placed all the brims, supports, whatever you need. It should all just print right out of the box. I would suggest you to print these out of PETG, ASA or ABS. Don't bother doing with PLA because it will just melt in the summer in the car. Most of the stuff that I did, I printed it out of PETG and ABS. I would have used ASA, but I didn't have any at hand right now. Besides the printing, you pretty much just need some M3 and M4 screws and one larger M6 or M8 screw. Now, only the sky is the limit for the system. You can make tables, phone holders, tablet holders, cup holders, you name it. If you have any ideas on some attachments that I could make, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. Go and check out my other projects. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up. And if you want to see more projects like this, remember to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Igual ese no